Breaking Innovation Barriers. This is the title of the new book of my today's guest in this podcast. And this is the reason why we are talking in English today. It's my first English podcast episode and I'm really excited about this. And so it's all about breaking innovation barriers and 15 strategies to win the management buy-in. So let's start the new episode. Innovators often find themselves facing countless barriers when attempting to revolutionize markets and organizations. Our biggest challenge is to get the management buy-in to prioritize innovation. And once we are on our way, to keep their commitment during the whole development of our innovative initiatives. In this podcast today, I interview the acclaimed author Gijs van Wulfen on his new book, Breaking Innovation Barriers, empowering you with 15 practical strategies to overcome the main barriers to innovation. You will learn how to win the buy-in of managers and investors, transforming your vision and dreams into tangible reality. So let's have a great and insightful chat with Gijs van Wulfen. Welcome. Welcome, Gijs. Nice to have you here on my podcast. Great to have you here.
Thank you. I feel honored too, really.
Yeah, so I'm following you since 2017, and in the intro, I've already shown you my book. The first book of you which I have read. It was the Innovation Expedition,
nice.
and I bought it in 2017, so 7 years from now. And now you are in the podcast. Great to have you
What
here.
was your takeaway from the book?
So the most important thing for me was the map, the expedition map. So going from one point to the next one. So it's a journey. And I think innovation is a journey and where we go together. And for me, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And
well,
of course,
may I interrupt you, Bianca, because it's the difference between a journey and an expedition.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the difference for you?
Well, and that's the point with innovation. You know, creativity is a journey, but innovation is an expedition. An expedition has a goal. We want to go to the moon. We want to go to Antarctica. And that's the difference with a journey, right? The journey is the destination. But with innovation, Bianca, you really have this goal, and I'm only satisfied when we deliver. So it is depicted as a journey, but it is an expedition because we need to deliver as innovators.
Yes.
And creativity is a tool, and it's not the goal. So for us, the journey is not the goal. The journey must be pleasant. It will be unpleasant too, as you know. So that's that's a short already into the innovation definition answer.
I like this difference because so I'm just thinking in German, of course. So it's the first podcast in English for me, and I'm just thinking in German, and I'm thinking, okay, is there a difference in our meaning? And I think it's because of my German translation, but I can absolutely understand.
Is it right? Eine Expedition versus eine Reise.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we are not using Expedition as many as Reisen. So that's the reason, I think. But today we are not talking about your first book. We are talking about your new book. And this new book, I like the title because I think it's so important to talk about it, and I will show it. Your new book is Breaking Innovation Barriers, 15 Strategies to Win Management Buy-in for Change. And we will talk about this in a few minutes. But first of all, I think it's important to talk about what is innovation? Because there are so many different interpretations and definitions. So what's your definition on innovation?
Yes, what's my I had a lot of them, and my definition changed all the time. So that's yeah. But now at this moment, I call innovation is transforming new ideas into reality with impact, because we have to make impact. And it's so first of all, it's not about getting new ideas. That's what I call creativity. It's not about inventing new technologies. That's what I call invention. But it is, and either you can start with an idea, or you can start with a technology, or with a customer friction, or with an innovation strategy. But it's all about transforming those ideas into reality. Otherwise, nothing happens. So you go through the stage gate for the corporate innovators, right? And it's all, is there something coming out of your pipeline? And then you have to have impact. Now, I do it beyond the business context, because you can innovate in any situation. So, and that's what you see, we had a product innovation in the 70s and the 80s. I was in there in industry in the 80s. Then came service innovation. Then came business model innovation. And then boom, it exploded, right? We got social innovation, sustainability innovation, organizational innovation. And it's all true. It's all innovation. It's all doing new things, or doing things in a new way. That's another broad definition of me. Doing new things, or doing things in a new way, because it's also process innovation. And with services, the process is the product. So if you do things in a new way, automatically the deliverable is different. So, but for me, it's all about creating impact. And yeah, that's the difference now with my definitions from 10 or 20 years ago.
So I think especially creativity and develop new ideas isn't the problem within companies, because there are a lot of ideas. What I can see is the implementation with impact. So most of the time there is a bottleneck within the implementation phase. There is a business case missing. There are, so I think this is the most important or the most difficult thing for me. So now I'm interested in, we all know how we can develop new ideas. We all know why it is important to be more innovative, but why is it so difficult?
Yes, well, you can invent alone, but in an organization, you can only innovate together. Because if you go from idea to realization, how many people you need? Even in a small or mid-sized company, you need 5 people, 10 even, right? You need people from production, from IT. You need designers, marketeers, salespeople to sell it, and then all the Geschäftsführers you need, right? 1, 2 layers, 3 layers. They all need to say yes. So the problem is that to get buy-in, and that's the biggest problem. I did a poll on LinkedIn last year. 790 people responded, and my question was, why does innovation fail? Why does it stop? And only 8% said feasibility. Können wir das machen, ja oder nein? 8%, and the rest all were kind of the soft factors. Getting management buy-in, 52%. Too slow, 15%. No business case, I don't know, from our 25%. And so the soft factors are the hard factors in innovation. It are the soft factors nobody talks about. Sure, you have your stage gate and your processes and your toolbox and your procedures and your innovation board. You have to present to them. Everything is arranged, and then it doesn't work. Why? And then that's where all the no's come in, right? And you get 1,000 and 1,000 and 1,000 no's. So it is difficult because you need others. And then all the no's have to do with, of course, fear of failure, especially in Germany, right? Or in Austria. Man kann keinen Fehler machen.
Yeah.
That's impossible, You are the Japanese of Europe, right? You're into perfection. If I
we have the culture of, sorry to interrupt you, but we have the culture of finger pointing. So who is responsible for the failure? Who is responsible for the mistake? Yeah.
Because you are perfectionists. If I give something to a German or to a Japanese, I get 10 improved versions back. All about doing things better, which is great. It's great because don't get me wrong. I look a bit creative with my long hair and like an artist, but I'm not. I'm a business economist. Hey. And you're able to innovate. To be able to innovate, you have to be profitable. And how do you get to be profitable? To do things better. So improvement is for today, right? Yes, and this is how we earn our money today. I love improvement. But at some moments, you should switch from improvement to innovation, from a step to a jump, right? And you have to pick there the right moments. So I love perfectionists. I'm one myself. I'm kind of semi-German. It's Dutch, it's originally Dutch. I'm very structured. That's why the fourth innovation map is a structure. It's very highly structured. But you have to pick the right moments, to jump and let go. The electric light was not invented by candle makers, right? No. Improving candles doesn't lead to electric light. It does things really different. And that's so difficult, especially in Germanistic countries, right? Come on, you lost the electrical vehicle market. Come on, Germany.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why? Because you waited too long, right? It was Dr. Norbert Reitenhofer. You probably know him, very famous in Germany. He once was the CEO of BMW and the Minis. And I remember an interview of him, and I quoted in my keynotes. I read it in a car magazine, Autowoche in Dutch. I read it at the hairdressers, and I don't come often at the hairdressers, so it was pure coincidence. And I read an article, and then, hey, Mr. Reitenhofer, and this was a long time ago, 2015 or 16. Why does BMW suddenly spend 200 million on electrical vehicles? And Reitenhofer said, because doing nothing was a bigger risk. Wow, doing nothing was a bigger risk, right? And that's when most people, they only innovate when they really, really, really have to. But of course, one was already way ahead, 10 years ahead, right? And then you lose it. You lose it to Tesla and to the Chinese. I just read Volkswagen is going to close for the first time 3 factories in Germany. Yeah. Hey,
with around 30,000 employees.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I read a newspaper article today in the morning.
Yes.
And they are talking about 30,000 people.
Over the hill and get used to it. A lot of car factories in Germany will close because you were too late 10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And I worked for the automotive industry, so yes, I know this.
It's all, and of course, so, and I'm not finger pointing.
Yeah.
I'm not finger pointing at all. I understand it completely because you're still in your comfort zone. And you think that with improvement of our existing technology, we will, there will be an endless future for us. But I love operational excellence. But it can kill you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Operational excellence, boom, it makes you focus. And you do things better and 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 better. And then suddenly the world changes and you need to observe and learn again. Hello, world. What the beep is happening outside? Because working in the Volkswagen, that's a beehive, a world in its own. You don't even notice there's an outside world anymore. A big corporation is like a world to you. And you're only, and the internal politics, and it's so big that it completely absorbs you. And only a few people are looking outside. And you just get blind and believe in your own until boom, you hit the wall, and then whoa, we need to change. But you can change because you're not alone. All the German car makers are like this. Of course, there's only one different. That's why there's only one innovator in the market, and 8 or 9 or 10 laggards who need to innovate. There's only one who want to innovate and did it 10 years ago, started, and now the other 8 or 9 or 10 are trying to, we really need to run now because it's going wrong, right? The good news is for Volkswagen or whatever now, the good news, one, there's urgency.
Yeah.
Two, there is no time and no money left. On the other way around, in the beginning, when you are really innovating on a strategic point, I call this the moment the moment you want to innovate. You do it before you hit the curve here. At a moment when it goes really well. And the good news is then there's money and time. The bad news is there is no urgency because everybody is busy because the business is growing. So you can only really innovate in a revolutionary way when there is a visionary board or a visionary CEO who says innovation now is important because it takes us 10 years to go from idea to reality. And that's why you have to start now in 2005 to be ready in 2015. And if you start in 2015, you're ready in 2025, and the other has a 10 years lead in the market, and you're too late. So it requires great vision because you have to prioritize it as strategic management at the moment, because nobody thinks of innovation when you're really going busy and the business is going like this. And now when the business goes like this, everybody says, oh my God, yes, we need to innovate because I will lose my job too.
Yeah.
But then the atmosphere is one of fear and not one of opportunity. Now, fear gives urgency, but when fear is too big, it can also be, in German verlammen. Das kann verlammend wirken. Wie ein Kaninchen in die 2 Lichter von das Automobil. We're going to get hit, right? So yes, you need to make use of urgency, but you have to not be too late because then nobody believes that we really can change our faith again.
So let us sum up this. There were a lot of points now. The question I'm getting a lot of time from customers or from companies is there a right moment for innovation? And you've already told something about it, but what would you say? Is there a right moment? And
yes, there is a right moment.
How can I find the right moment?
I will tell you. That depends on which industry you are. The question is, how long does it take you to get from idea to market? In pharmaceuticals, 15 years. Cars with a new technology, 10 years. In services, 1.5 years. In cloud computing, 6 weeks.
Wow.
So if it takes you 10 years, it means that the moment you think you need the innovation, 10 years before you should have started. Okay. So the longer it takes, the more. So you should, when your strategy really works, when your profit is high, you should get worried where I am in 10 years. So that's the moment you want to innovate. So you repair the roof when it's even not leaking. That's what you do. But also, like I helped a company in Germany, and somebody told me, why do you want to innovate? It was a family company, a big family company, worked all over the world. You have those huge in Germanistic countries. You have these huge, big family organizations. En hij asked de Geschäftsführer, warum wollen Sie innovieren? Aber Herr van Wulfen, das ist ganz simpel. Ich habe 2 Divisionen und 3 Kinder. Da fehlt noch eine Division. I'm failing a division because, I like to give all my children one division, and it's really simple. And he said, but when it's there in 10 years, it's fine. So we really can have revolutionary ideas because, I want to give really a legacy to the family and to my children. And, I got it from my father and I bring it. So this is also a very true and very, good reason to innovate. Because we should not only think from the perspective of big corporates. There are a lot of medium-sized organizations which are quite big. They really require the professionalism, but there's also this family feeling inside. Wir haben 2 Seelen im Brust.
Yeah,
the corporate soul and the family soul, and that's
family, yeah.
And that's even also in getting things done. It's also another way of another corporate culture, which also needs to include. It has to be inclusive, and you see the different generations in a family organization fighting each other, while they should learn together and go together on an expedition.
So it's necessary to think today about the tomorrow in 10 years, 15 years. It depends on the industry. So what I'm experiencing is one point, and you've already mentioned it. It's the typical no. No, we do not have time now. No, we do not have the resources now. No, we do not have, I don't know. And there's one statement within your new book, and I really love it. I really enjoy it, and I will show it now. Innovation doesn't stop at the first no. That's the moment it starts. What were your thoughts on this statement within your book?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to ask you a question. When a client says no to you, what do you feel?
First, okay, why not? No. But then for me, it's always, and we've already talked about it. So the German no, it's Nein, and it stands for there is one information missing.
No, now you're coming with a solution already.
Yeah.
Now you're coming with thoughts. My question to you was, what do you feel when I say no to you? What do you feel? What do you feel? Come on.
Nervous. Yeah. I feel disappointed.
Yes, you feel disappointed.
Yeah. I'm searching the mistake within my thoughts. So I'm thinking about, what I've
thinking. Feeling is one of rejection, feeling hurt, feeling rejected, feeling disappointed, feeling frustrated, feeling failure. So, yes. And then you sit back, and then the extroverts start just blah, 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 blah talking, and the introvert doesn't say nothing anymore and afterwards, in your car ride back home, you start thinking and processing it because you feel hurt. And of course, me too. And that was, and why did I feel hurt? First of all, it was always unexpected. It was always unexpected. So but when you get 10 times, 20 times no, you think, come on, okay, there's a pattern here. You start recognizing the pattern. And then it was always, I was always hurt, and from emotions, the response will also, yeah, but they. But I learned that when I point to you, one finger points to you, but 1, 2, 3 fingers points to me. So that's interesting. So what could I do? But it was my premises. My premises was that I would always blame them as conservative. And I always saw the conservative people were kind of less, not as intelligent, not as the innovative people, which is a wrong premises. Because first, when I want a yes from you, you must trust me. And for you to trust me, you must have a relationship with me somehow. But for every relationship with me, you must understand me. Now, do we as innovators understand the people in the organization? I don't even want to understand them. I'll say, come on, you are doing this and this and this, and we need to change because you this and this. But it's their history. They're in the organization 30, 40 years. They built this company, and you start blaming them about being, come on. The organization is there for 40 years because of their achievements. Don't judge them. So the big change for me was after a lot of fail. I said, come on, I must connect to them. I must understand them. I must not judge them. Right? So when you accept that conservatism is the normal, they are not abnormal. I am abnormal. They are the abnormal. And because I could accept them, I could understand them. I start talking their language. They connected to me. I was in a normal discussion with them, not you and you and you this and you this, in a normal discussion, trying to understand them. That's why we got a relationship. That's why they started to trust me. And that's why I could take them on a process. Now, that's the big difference. So, and that's why when I was not psychologically hurt again, or I felt rejected again, because it was the kind of the normal. Now that's where it starts. Because you will get a lot of no's, because you're the one who is abnormal and they are the normal ones. So then you accept that it's normal to get a no. And then, the Germanistic, come on, wir machen das, wir schaffen das, wir gehen dafür. And then, you feel the power inside, and then you start turning those no's into yeses. If you go in a meeting and expecting I get a no, you are much more relaxed. And when the no is there, you say, yes, you see, there is it. It took a bit longer than normal. And you start, and you're there with a totally different mindset yourself. When you think, I got this great innovation proposition, and we really is an opportunity, and we really must do it. And then, boom, you hit the rock unexpectedly, and then it hurts. But when you expect it, you are, first of all, much more relaxed yourself, Bianca. And you say, okay. And then they say no, and you can say, hey, of course you say no. I understand that. And they are amazed that you understand them, because normally they would have a fight or an argument, or, no, I understand it, because you think this and this and this and this. And yes, well. And you think that the future is, yes, no, we're doing fine. I said, okay. So I understand that you think that. You think that it will be the future. Well, I don't know either, because as in, we all don't know, Bianca. We all don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
right.
But I may say, okay, no problem with me. I just wait until the shit gets a bit bigger. And then you will call me, and then, whoa. Because you have to be open. And also in your German type of, you are so, the boss decides and you do what your boss tells you, right? It's like in Japan, in the Germanistic corporate culture is so conservative. And of course, as a Dutch guy, when I did my project in Germany, I was a bit the Rudy Karel, and I was a bit lockerer. For me, all kinds of things, but even you, dare to be open with your boss, and dare to give them direct feedback. And if he can't take that, switch. I don't switch from job, switch from company, right? So don't be frustrated for 10 or 20 years because, in the end you won't function anymore, because, when it's really not appreciated, or when you know that they won't say yes for 5 years, and that's quite normal, switch company, switch to a company where the urgency is, and start having your added value. So
Great.
Expect a lot of no's. There are thousands of no's. Yes, you get them all, but pick the right moment and don't let one no, get over it, and don't let it hurt yourself. And when you expect them, you can respond in a much better way.
Yeah, I see. I absolutely agree with this. So the imagination of it, yeah. So the question now I have is, so if a company says, okay, we want to become more innovative, we want to give our employees the chance to bring their ideas in and to get the yeses, what can a company do to build an innovation culture where this mindset can be established?
Yes, well, this is the most difficult thing there is. You're asking again the most difficult thing there is, right? And because it's so difficult, it's so big. It's so big. You don't even know where to start. What should we do? Yes, it's about strategy and about people and about culture. All right. Yes, let's change it. But where do I start? And we used to do kind of, and it still is in a lot of companies, this blueprint. Okay, let's make a blueprint first of the end situation, and then we're going to work through that in steps and in stages and in phases. Kind of the German planned way to do things. Well, this is not how you build a corporate culture. So what you just start doing things. Start doing things which work. And a great example in the book is of SAP. I don't have to introduce SAP in Germany anymore, right? Whoa, what is this? Yes, come on. More than 100,000 people now, and whoa. But SAP is also a very bureaucratic, hierarchical company.
Yeah.
Come on, with one main product. So everything there is, woo, don't touch it, it works, don't touch it, right? How do you innovate within SAP? And Klaus von Riegen wrote a wonderful story. He was the head of innovation strategy of SAP. He wrote a wonderful story about how he created a safe zone of experimentation within SAP. And he created a safe experimentation zone, and with all kinds of exceptions. And people within, and they didn't call it a startup, or they didn't call it the innovation hub, or no, just people who had their ideas, they could come to him and he get it approved, and they could, they worked around the bureaucracy, because the bureaucracy is a very good thing. Why? Because every big organization is like a body, creates an immune system. An organization is also an immune system. Anything which is strange, all the white blood vessels go there and try to attack it, because it's probably bad for you, right? And that automatically happens with innovation, right? All the white blood cells go there. No, that's why we are all the bureaucracy is there to protect the body. It's like an immune system. So he created the safe zone within SAP, and for years, and there came to wonderful innovation out of that. And you didn't have to go the normal way, because when we want to innovate, and I like to try a new supplier, to get on board one new supplier cost at SAP 6 months, right? or I want to get this, and then the innovation was gone already, right? So he created the safe zone, and that's a great start to create a safe zone and to experiment. So it must start at the top. Say, why don't we, let our corporate rules, and then from the safe zone, there are, of course, because they have their experimentation funnel, the stage gate funnels, right? And then you start doing things in a bit of a different way. Instead of it goes from, okay, because in Germany, innovation is R&D. Yeah. So we wait for R&D to come with something new, and then we somehow, in the stage gate funnel, we have to transform an invention into an innovation. But sales is not involved, marketing is not involved, design is not involved, IT is not involved. Come on, supply chain is not involved. There are 1,000 other ways of innovation, but we only look at this technological part which has to be transformed, right? So having innovate across silos, right? It goes from one silo to the other, and then it's, of course, every time it stops. What is this? Why is it good? Why do we want this, right? Because there is no ownership, and they just throw it to the other one, and then, of course, it falls on the floor and nothing happens. Mm-hmm. Also, so it's not only about, and that's what I also would do. I would not only create a safe experimentation zone for individuals, but also teams try working together, complementary teams in a psychologically safe zone. And so that's the second thing. And the third thing is, when you're working into something with production or whatever, and it costs you 5 years, don't make innovation priority in 1 year, because after 1 year you have nothing, right? You should prioritize it and say, okay, we're going to prioritize innovation for 3 years or 5 years, or don't do it. Because you can't expect a jump in 1 or 2 years when you have done nothing the years before, with every respect, right? Only the small changes. So prioritize it for a long time, and own it. So also the top must own it, and when you don't own it, the rest just see it as another gadget, and it's not worth anything. So it means also that the German or people in Austria and Germany or wherever, you need to get your own hands dirty. You need to be in the project. Not in the steering committee saying yes or yes. No. You are in the project. The vice president is in the brainstorming with the rest. You will be the grandfather and the grandmother. They are my age, the grandfathers of innovation. And every child knows that, the grandmother, the father and mother are really German. And the grandmother and grandfather, they make them grow and make it. And this is how it works in a company in the same way. Right? So you should innovate together. That's why I don't call it I innovation. There is no I. There is I in invention. Because you can think of an idea alone. I call it we innovation.
Yeah. Because I like this word, yeah.
Because it's we innovate, not I innovate. I innovate, don't have any impact at all, because you don't even finish.
Yeah, absolutely. So innovation, I like it because, as you've already mentioned, it needs all the people within the company, all the people who wants to change something, and even the management or the CEO or CTO or something, some title like this, to be part of this innovation, to be part of the team, to be part of the implementation phase. So is this meant by your management buy-in, which you are talking about within your book? So there you are talking about management buy-in and 15 strategies to achieve it. Is this meant by the management buy-in? So make your hands dirty and be part of it?
Yes. Because but there's one other thing I like to tell, is that you shouldn't do this the German way, to just announce, now we're going to innovate, the year of innovation. Yeah. That won't work. You just start doing small things. Hey, we're doing this experiment. Hey, we're doing this, and this will change, right? And don't make these big announcements of the year of innovation or wow. It only raises expectations, right? And that's a problem also with innovators, is that I also talked to a CEO and they said, oh, Gijs, these innovators, I got 3 problems with them. First, it always takes longer than they promise. Secondly, it always costs more than they promise. They always come back for more money. And then in the end, when I compare the business case with what they realize, they always bring back less what they promised. So also, innovators, look at ourselves. We overpromise and underdeliver because we think when we make big promises, we get buy-in more earlier, which is not the case. We should do it the other way around. We should underpromise and overdeliver. That's how you build trust, right? So it's also for us to be a great innovator, and perhaps we're going to talk about that later too. So that's
yes, absolutely.
all over. It are not only the innovators frustrated about the culture, it's also the Vorstand really frustrated about why don't I get more, right? So it's a shared frustration.
So after seeing the first content of your new book, I could see the 15 main innovation barriers and the 15 strategies for becoming a better innovator, to become more management buy-in. We have you have a great infographic for that, so we can see it now in the video. And for all the podcast listeners, we put it into our blog, and the link is in the show note, of course. So so what are the 15 strategies to win management buy-in? Because I think this is so specific and so it's I wouldn't say it's a receipt, but it's a kind of something where I can put in my thoughts, where I could put in my actions, and I think it's like a roadmap, for example, for employees to win management buy-in, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's I wish I could say do this and then it will happen, but it won't. It's too complex. And also the order in which you should do it or what you should do, that's up to you, not up to me. But it has to, some of them are more culture related, the other ones are more strategy related, and the third one are more process related. And what I found out was, only after I written this, I said, hey, come on, like culture related is much more when you can create the conditions. And that's all when you are more in a Vorstand role or in a more leadership team role, you focus more on the culture side and on the strategy side also, because that's what you can influence. Now, as innovators, we focus more on the process side because that's what we can influence, right? Because the Vorstand will trust that we find the right process. So, we can much more be in the lead there. So process innovative strategies are much more for us to do, to take the initiative. And also in strategy, we both meet, right? Because there we will help each other in getting a clear strategy. Of course, well, there are 15. I'm not going to talk about them all 15. Some are obvious. I like to point out, a few of them. As I said, we innovate across silos. I started with the culture one, and that starts at the top too, because innovation is much broader than only R&D. It can also be sparked by marketing or sparked by value chain. You can have internal process innovation sparked by operations. But also for We Innovate, it is important the way you organize it. Most of the time, innovation is led by innovation project managers or in the lead, and they own innovation. It's theirs. And that's where the problem starts. Because if you are Bianca, the vice president innovation, I work for you. And you want to stimulate innovation. Of course you want to stimulate innovation. That's on your deliverables and on your yearly targets. If you want innovation to work, it has to be from us. And you should not have a vice president innovation. Oh, no, you shouldn't. Why don't you get her under the CEO, only a few people, which are innovation facilitators. What are they? They facilitate the innovation process. They get people together. They got a strategic challenge, or as a former client of me used, a must-win battle. And there you have a facilitator as a project manager, just a facilitator. And they get a team together. And then in the end, they present a solution, and either, a business division adopts the solution, or a manager adopts the solution for implementation. So in this way, innovation is managed within the organization and not on the separate innovation stream. Because the fast way is the slow way, and the slow way is the fast way. Of course, when you manage it in your innovation silo, everybody is innovating. And then it has to be implemented by the organization, and boom, nothing happens. And an organization is like a herd of animals. When we get more innovators in, young people, willing, full of energy, we're going to do it completely different, and let's digitalize and transform and whatever modern things we do, they start running fast. Wow, great energy. But who determines the speed of the herd? The slowest animals.
Yeah.
Often the CFO is among them. Or quality control, the persons who worked 30 years with the firm and managing all the processes and procedures, because they mind the profitability.
Yeah, I thought about the Betriebsrat in German or Austrian companies.
What's that, the Begriffsrat?
Betriebsrat.
Betriebsrat, yes.
Betriebsrat, yeah.
Betriebsrat. Although you have one or two very innovative people from the Betriebsrat.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Of course, they are like the Muppet Show, Waldorf and Stedtler saying, commenting all the time. But when you get the Betriebsrat in your project, mostly one of them, right? And of course, they sit like this, but then they are on the journey, and they follow the journey. Oh, wow, and they open their minds, because in observe and learn, they see, what's happening. They get new insights, they talk to customers, they hear customer frictions, and then they start getting their ideas and raise ideas, making concepts. They could go with new concepts and test ideas to the customer. Whoa, they get feedback. Whoa, and they see how customers like it and get buy-in. And then they help making a business case to present to the Vorstand. Wow, then you got them, and then you got their buy-in. Yes, this process takes longer. But otherwise, the young boys and girls from the innovation department or from the innovation hub or whatever more things we do, they go fast along the existing organization and try to get it in again, and it doesn't work because there's no ownership. And when you do it slowly, bottom up, right, it goes slower, but you end up further, and you can make impact in the market because it's accepted by the organization. So that's what I call, we-innovation. And so you we-innovate across silos, because then you get the buy-in. Because in stage gates, you get from the ideation part to the development part, to the test part, to the prototype part, to the implementation part, to the market launch. Now everybody of every phase is involved in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's why, you create a lot of parents and a lot of grandparents for this idea. And people want it to happen instead of, what's this, right? And then you have the not invented here syndrome. So because their DNA is in these ideas and these concepts and these business cases, and that makes it much stronger. And so that's we innovate across silos. Of course, I talked about experimenting. Would love to talk more about being a great innovator. I talked about in strategy, seize the innovation sweet spot. Yes. Align innovation to strategy. This is important. Why? Because you don't want to be an innovator at the end, you want to be an innovator. So at the moment that it goes really well, that's the spot. So you have to align it to strategy. And innovation can do anything. It can even do cost reduction. You say, why? Okay, Volkswagen, how much do you need to save? 1 billion. Well, that's kind of a lot. Okay, either we can just close 3 factories and we fire 30,000 people, or we make an innovation journey. What? Yes. How can we save 1 billion euros a year, keeping our long-term vision, and without hurting the present business most? That's a very interesting, even innovation journey. And this is how you align innovation to cost saving even. Yeah. So the point is that the only thing you have when it goes well as innovator is that you can say, hey, I can help you, Forstand, realize your dreams. But your strategy are your dreams. Well, let's make it concrete. And with innovation, you make new concepts, and new concepts are stepping stones for the future strategy. So you have to align it with strategy. Otherwise, it's only nice to have and not need to have. So that's the in the strategy related one of the strategies which is strategy related.
I like the idea of doing an innovation journey by thinking about how can we save $1 billion, and yeah, so I think it's a really great challenge and a great journey and a great possibility to rethink the current situation and to have further opportunities, and not just, okay, we are closing 3 factories and firing 30,000 people, but maybe there are some other opportunities as well.
Of course, this is the McKinsey way or the Boston Consulting Group way. Okay, but it's not. It can be done in a different way. I won't say it's better. I would take on the challenge if you would help me.
Sure, why not?
Anybody else who sees this, we're up for the challenge. Challenge us even with cost saving strategies. Another one is, for example, sustainability. Everybody talks about sustainability, but who is doing really something? It's all window dressing now. We have sustainability. When it comes up with a sustainability strategy, it's like innovation repeated again, and then nothing materializes because it's of theirs and it's not of the whole organization. So you should have sustainability facilitators instead of sustainability managers.
Yeah.
Right? So when you want this change, you should facilitate, because otherwise it is not embraced by the whole organization. It's only you. Of course. Yeah, Bianca, hey, sustainability. Good luck, eh? Lots of success. No, I support you. And then I sit like this to see what you're bringing back. And then I say, no, I don't really like it. So why didn't you go back? And now you say no to everything you come up with. And you end up leaving the company after 3 years.
And that's the point where all these words like innovation, sustainability, quality, something like this, get buzzwords.
Yes, they get buzzwords. Yeah, they get buzzwords, and they and buzzwords, and they are empty vessels. Yeah. There's nothing in it. Yeah. There's no action. Yeah. No.
That's right. So the last question I have, and this is the point where you already said you want to talk more about it is, how can I be better tomorrow? So how can I become a better innovator? Because it's one of the points you've already mentioned. It's one of the strategies. Number 6, be a great innovator. So how can I become a great innovator?
Okay, well, there are in my book, Innovation of Breaking Innovation Barriers, I talk about 10 things. Some are pretty obvious. I won't mention them. The first time I start with an unexpected one, is that just be yourself. Be authentic. Anybody can be an innovator. Anybody. Now, if you are a pretty nerdy IT guy, stay the pretty nerdy IT guy. You don't have to start to wear a tie to work or whatever, or being making extrovert jokes or whatever. Just stay who you are, because a great innovator is meaning that people follow you, and they follow you because they trust you, and they go on an expedition because they think, hey, when you facilitate this expedition, it will be a success. So you must be belief worthy, and you do that only by being authentic. Just so you don't have to change your personality or whatever. I've seen great R&D people be innovators, also great ICT people being innovators. Of course, designers, the more extrovert salespeople, they even can be great innovators, right? But they need other people around them to make it work and to make it happen. So stay yourself. You have to influence hearts and minds. And of course, it's easier when you get older. It are the soft things which make things work in an organization. It are relationships which make things work in an organization. When I was in my 20s, in my 30s, hey, it was me here, Dr. van Wulfen. Yeah, you must do this for me, and you must do that for me, because I am the product group manager and global. Pretty important. Nobody does anything for me because of my title or my, It's all about making friends, doing favors, feeling supported. So you should not influence minds, but also hearts. Get a good team together. Be human, connect. I think that's very important. Of course, this happens more in a psychologically safe organization than if not. If you work in an organization with a lot of office politics, go away, get a new job, go out of there. Don't let them spoil your daily life, right? You can't influence office politics. You accept it or not, but only a few people can accept it, and then go away, go somewhere else where you're really valued, and there's a more safe environment where they see your real benefits, instead of that you have always be careful if somebody tries to steal your budget, steal your people, steal your ideas. It's so influence hearts and minds. That's an important one. That's, I say, especially now in Germany, be courageous. Don't say yes all the time. To your bosses, be courageous. Challenge them. Then you just say, kann ich ein bisschen Holländisch sein? And then you say no, right? Because then you are, this, or dare to ask the question, why? Why is this? Why is this? Would you allow me to have a better or different opinion or not? Challenge it more and more and more. And I know there's a lot of generations, but I'm talking now about the old elephants in Germany. There are a lot of old elephants in Germany. Great operational excellence companies who need to do different now. Otherwise, you will be in a problem in 5 or 10 years, right? So you have to challenge them now. At the moment, when business goes well, then you have to challenge the business. Not when the business goes bad, then the urgency is there. But to get urgency, you must challenge them. You must shock them. So be courageous there. Now, the best thing I say is at those moments where nobody, the Netherlands is really the tulip country. And we place these bulbs in the ground, right? How do you call in German a bulb, a tulip bulb? What's that?
The bulb?
Yeah.
Die Glühbirne.
How do you call this in German? What is the German word for it, for tulip bulb?
It's die Tulpe.
The tulip, yeah, but the bulb where the tulip comes out, how do you call it?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Well, you plant these bulbs. There's, you plant. When do we plant the bulbs in the Netherlands? It's not in the summer. It's too hot, right? It's in the summer. It's too hot. Not in the winter. The ground is frozen. You plant bulbs in autumn or in spring. In summer, everybody's reorganizing. Right here, and then here in the fall, of course. Then you plant them for the next spring, and here in spring you plant them so you have to pick there your right moments, but you have to be courageous, especially in spring, right? You say, oh, come on, all the flowers and the green leaves are coming. Why do we need to plant bulbs? Yes, because it will be fall again, and in the fall, there won't be any green leaves, only red and yellow ones, and there won't be any leaves on the trees, and then we want to have a flowering garden. Right. So you have to be
for that.
courageous to do that, because everybody's still enjoying, oh, look, it's spring, how wonderful. You smell the green, yes, but what about autumn? And we have to plant them now because the bulb needs time to grow, like an idea has time to grow from idea to implementation. So be courageous. That's the point. And don't accept every assignment you get. When they say, yes, I got this great project, and I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s, I say, yes, give it to me. But then it's your problem. The moment you say yes, it's your problem. So you should wait to say yes. Okay, what is it? You want to do it? I don't know yet. So, because innovation is so difficult. The only thing you have is a challenge, a team, and a process. The challenge you cannot always influence. The team is sometimes even given to you. Now, do you want this or not? You can only say no only at the start. Otherwise, it's a problem. Yeah. Right? And then you struggle with it for 1.5 years, 2 years. Great. So you have to, as project leader, you have also be courageous in saying no. Yeah. If you don't believe in a project, say, no, I don't believe in it. What? Believe in it? No. Why? Well, you want this, and this, and that, and that. Come on. We can't come up with revolutionary ideas giving us 45% of EBIT within a year. No. If that's a challenge, I won't do it. I need at least 3 years to do it. Because it's revolutionary. We want something completely different in a year? Forget it. Not with me. I don't want to be stubborn here, but I can't deliver that to you. Go to somebody else, a fool who accepts this. So be courageous because, as innovator, once you get the group on this expedition, they all follow you. And if you don't believe in the expedition, they will feel it and it will go nowhere. And a lot of expeditions stranded because of the right ships. So pick the right tools or because of the wrong people on board, right? So if you don't have any influence on the people or the methodology, don't do it. Say, hey, that's where I come in. I know all about good things and I go all about good methods. So be courageous, be persistent, work the heart and the mind, stay yourself. Those are a couple of those things which make you a great innovator.
Great. And all the other points and all the other strategies are in your new book. And so I've already pre-ordered it, of course, because I'm really curious about the 15 strategies in detail. I follow you on LinkedIn. I follow you on the LinkedIn newsletter where you, explain a lot of the strategies as well. So if there is a person now, a listener of the podcast or from the video, how can we get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Yeah, just connect to me on LinkedIn and connect to me on LinkedIn and say hi. I will accept you and we can talk. But I would say in Germany, you don't need me. Just reach out to Bianca. She perfectly can lead any innovation expedition you have. And she's in close contact with me. So go with all your questions. And when you need a great innovation expedition leader, go to Bianca, and I will be in the back seat seeing that everything will go well.
Thank you so much. So last but not least, I want to show the book again. So when is the public date, the publicity date?
Well, I launched it in Pavia in Italy. I live in Milano now. I launched it in Pavia, Italy, the 27th of November. I think Amazon Germany delivers it around that period, so you can pre-order it now. If you pre-order it and you can't wait, just send me a message via LinkedIn. I will send you a free PDF. Now, don't tell my publisher, okay? But I'll send you a free PDF of the book, so you can already start when you pre-order. And I wish you a lot of success. And let's break those no innovation barriers, and let's innovate Austria and Germany, Bianca.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gijs, for being here in my podcast, in my show. It was a pleasure for me. It was an honor for me to talk with you and get all the insights and inspiration. Oh my God, it was so insightful. Thank you very much for being here today in the show.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Lots of success, everybody. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.